Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 2 Minutes of Tea. What do I want to share today, guys? What do I want to share? So I recently just got back from the West Coast. I was in Denver for work, and like many cities, I noticed that they were having a housing crisis, right? Affordable housing is something that has not been made accessible for a lot of people. I know many of us are feeling that. If you live in a city, inflation has really caused a lot of the rent and whatever to skyrocket. So there are a lot of people who are unhoused. And as the seasons are changing, here are some things that I like to do that I would encourage you all to do to help your fellow man. Keep sweaters in your car, old sweaters, old cardigans, old jackets, things that you were gonna throw out anywhere or donate. Keep them in your car when you're driving around. If you see someone out, give them a sweater. Snacks, you can get little gummy bears or peanuts or bottles of water. Keep stuff like that in your house, gloves, things that you are going to repurpose anyway, just put them in your car. And when you're driving around and you see someone who's down on their luck, who's unhoused, give them a jacket, give them a sweater, give them some food, say hello. We got to do a better job of connecting. It just was really, really disheartening to kind of see that. And I know other cities are feeling that. And so, yeah, I'm going to do my part. I hope you guys do your part. Enjoy the episode. Bye.
It's tea time with Uncle Twirl. Let me go grab my cup.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tea Time with Uncle Twirl. I'm your host, Uncle Twirl. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to be up to date on all of the episodes dropping this season. Guys, I have a very special guest sipping and spilling with us today. She just was nominated as one of the baddest, finest, most gorgeous people on radio. Okay, baby, people on radio are fine now. I don't know if you knew that. Okay, they're getting finer. Award-winning radio personality, content creator, voice-over vixen, and hometown hero. Danie B is in the building. Yes! Y'all better give it up to her. Yes.
That sounded real nice. You made me sound real fancy.
Period. Cheers, my darling.
Yes.
Welcome to Tea Time.
Thank you so much for having. This is cute. Oh, I didn't even notice I got your little.
Thank you very much. You know, we try to keep it real official.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. How you doing? You looking good?
I'm good. Just trying to get reacclimated to New Atlanta. Because Atlanta different now. This New Atlanta.
Very different.
Like,
very different.
I've been gone 10 years.
Okay.
So.
And I live here, but I don't live in the city. So if I don't come for a week, it's different. No, I'm lost all over again.
Seriously, like literally right outside of the studios, I've traveled, like I was living on the east side. And so I would travel to go to work. Like I would be on Memorial Drive and all. I'm like, when y'all put all these little construction things here?
Madison,
y'all. 2 months ago.
None of it. Yeah, Memorial is very bougie now. Like, if I didn't see Homegrown over there, I wouldn't even know where I was, to be honest.
And they got the Kill Me Crazy over here. Yep. When did this area turn into this?
Yeah, she's Memorial. She's not Memorial. She's Memorial. Yeah, that's what she is now. Okay. Before we dive into the interview segment, I think we could, play a few games.
Okay.
We like to play games here, guys.
Yes, I love it. Let's play.
So the first game we're going to play is called Sip or Spill.
Okay.
Essentially, I'm going to read 2 options to you. You're going to pick which option you gravitate towards the most.
Okay.
And then if you don't want to pick, because we believe in consent here, you just take a sip, honey, okay? We're not going to force you to pick, okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's get into it.
Okay.
First up, crimson or cream?
What?
Crimson or cream? Do you have a preference? I mean,
I genuinely don't have a preference. I don't have a preference. It's fine. It's fine. Both are fine.
Period.
I love both.
Apex or Legends?
I'm gonna say Legend.
Period.
I'm gonna say Legend.
Period. It had AC. Apex did not. I don't care what anybody says. I'd be like, y'all gotta go. I'm about to die.
I'm gonna say Legend.
Send help. Okay.
Send help.
Lemon pepper wet or dry?
Lemon pepper wet.
Period. All day.
Like,
because everything's better wetter. And don't you forget it.
That was it. That what he said.
That's what I said. Jams 96.3 or V103.
V103. No shade.
No shade.
V103 all the way.
Okay, no shade. Okay. Heels or sneakers?
Sneakers. I got my fancies today.
And they so cute. Hey, Rihanna. I love you. Georgia Southern or Georgia State?
Georgia Southern. That's cute. The little
the
college.
Real GSU.
Maybe I gotta take a sip with that. Like a little college in the middle of Atlanta. That is so cute. Big shots. No, I just met, like, I think it was the dean, the president of Georgia State University, and the producer, the Big Tigger Morning Show.
Right.
She goes to Georgia State.
Gotcha.
Well, she went to Georgia State. She's a
Right.
graduate, and so she comes in. She's like, "Good morning, Danie B," and I'm like, "Hi," and then she goes, "Oh, this will be cute." And she's like, "She went to Georgia Southern," and all of them are like, and so they're out in the lobby taking pictures. I was like, "Can I take a picture with you guys?" And they're like, "Okay, yeah, like, get in the picture, get in the picture." And then I was like, "Okay, 1, 2, 3, Southern not State, Southern not State." They were like, "No, get out of our picture."
The real GSU, and don't you forget
the real one,
the original.
We have a campus.
Okay.
You know?
Before y'all are thought we were a school. Okay?
Exactly.
Don't get it twisted. All right. A little better give me. We love y'all. Go Panthers. Go Row. Whatever.
Well, that's what they do?
Meow.
I was like, if y'all don't get out of here with that.
Puss in Boots. Okay. Florida or Georgia?
Georgia. I love y'all in Florida. Florida, I spent some good time in Florida, but Georgia all day.
Period.
I'm a peach.
I'm a nut. Okay. The Jamie Foxx Show or Girlfriends?
Ooh.
Here I go,
Okay, so for a lot of people, this is very easy. But for me, I was a big Jamie Foxx Show fan. Like, people like to do Jamie Foxx and Martin. I'm like, yo, y'all sleep on how funny Jamie Foxx was.
So funny. And those
Jamie
are different
Foxx
eras.
Show or Girlfriends. I'm gonna go by Girlfriends because that's what I watch more. I think I watch Girlfriends more.
And they're both great shows. Jamie
Just
Foxx
because of that,
is
but
hilarious.
I love the Jamie Foxx
so
show.
good.
That is my favorite, bruh. I love. Is it Jamie Foxx though?
Now she's like, did I make a mistake?
Did I make a mistake?
Oops.
No.
Well, you've already announced
It's Girlfriends. It's Girlfriends.
I was
It's
about to say,
Girlfriends.
you already announced your favorite child. We go, Jamie. It's okay. Solange or Sampha?
Solange.
Period.
Solange.
Do you think she's coming up with anything new anytime soon?
No. And I don't, and she don't have to.
You don't.
And the reason I like Sampha too is because he was just like, yeah, I'm going to give you guys this, but this isn't for me. I'm good. And it was like this masterpiece album. And he was just like, this industry isn't serving me. I'm good. And walked like dope. And I like Solange because of the same thing. She's like, if this is moving me, I'll do it.
Right.
But I'm not.
Right. I have to be aligned. I have to be in it. Yeah.
I love that.
We love you both. And for those of you who don't know, Sampha, if you're not familiar with his music, he worked on the Solange album that people love so much.
People sleep
check
on
him
that.
out. Check him out.
Too. People sleep on that.
He's very talented. Okay. The Color Purple or Love and Basketball?
Color Purple. You told Harpo to be like, come on.
That was so easy.
Yeah, like Color Purple.
You didn't even want to play for
tell me something. Like, come on. It's Color Purple. It's classic.
Okay, period.
Classic. And then it's a book. I like a good book turn movie.
Okay. And the book, for those of you who haven't read it, is better than the movie.
The book is better than the movie. So much better.
So much more context.
Yeah.
Did you like the musical?
I did, but I'm a person who likes musicals.
Okay, facts.
And I feel, and I was like, I don't know if this is because I'm older, so I'm looking at it from a different lens, but I feel like the musical gave the movie more context to me. To me.
I agree.
To me.
I agree. Because it's more like the play. If you haven't seen the play, the play also does a really good job of filling in more of the
gaps.
Yeah.
Because like the first movie is, I feel like, iconic. I feel like it's great. But again, like I picked some more things up once I was older and I read the book. And then the musical, like I was like, okay, this to me was more like the book.
Yes. Yeah. It's a lot more like the book and the play. Yeah.
So.
Agreed. Crab legs or pizza?
Crab legs. I'm that basic East Side Atlanta girl, you know what I'm saying? Give me some crab legs.
The fuck?
Come on, give me some crab. Oh, we can curse.
We can.
Because I got a potty mouth. Like, the fuck? Give me some crab legs, you know what I'm saying? Like, any day, you know what I'm saying? Put a little pepper seasoning in the little sauce.
See?
And then, you know, I found a cheat code. See, do what
What's
you
a
do.
cheat code?
Do what you do. So you go to whatever your favorite crab place is, Juicy Crab, whatever it is. You just order the sauce.
Okay, that's it.
Just the sauce.
Okay.
The little, whatever the sauce is, whatever you order that. Just a carton of that. It'd be like $4.
Right.
Then you go to Publix or wherever and you get your own crab legs and your own shrimp. Put it on the grill and just dab.
And it's cheaper.
Why I'm paying you $40 for crab legs? I can go ahead to Publix and get the whole thing for about $20 or Kroger and get the whole clusters. all
Y'all,
those clusters for $20, and I just bought the sauce, and it's the same
right.
thing.
Y'all pay attention. We're going to put Juicy Crab out of business. Inflation ain't the reason it's that high. But I would have chose crab legs as well. I tell everybody, if it can swim, I'm going to eat it. Crab, alligator, mermaid.
Alligator, I've had alligator, and I couldn't get into
it was too, gamey, too chewy, too.
Okay, so certain things like that, I think of the animal while I'm eating it, which makes no sense because it's like you eat chicken, you eat cows, but like an alligator, all I could see was like, and then I lived in Florida, so I was like, yo, I just seen your homie yesterday.
I can't eat that.
I can't do it.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
It's slick like dining on dinosaur. Slick. Yeah, because they're so old. It's delicious. Okay, look, very good. You didn't sip too much. You was a straight shooter.
Why? That's what we do.
Period.
We authentic. We tell the truth.
Okay, so our next game is called Spot the Lie. Okay, as a radio personality, you have to be plugged into pop culture. You have to know what's going on. You have to kind of be a little bit in the know, just a little bit, a little bit. And so we put together a list. We're going to do multiple rounds. We're going to see if you can spot the lie. Out of the list of things we read. Okay. Round 1.
Okay.
Fight. No. Trump accuses Kamala Harris of having an affair with Montel Jordan. Jennifer Lopez filed for divorce from Ben Affleck on their 2nd wedding anniversary. Oof. Jordan Childs tweeted, Romania can kiss my bronze ass.
She ain't say that. Okay. Jordan Childs ain't say that. The rest of that stuff happened. Kamala, she did date Montel. Was it Montel Jordan? Montel Williams back in the day when he had his talk show. She was younger, so who cares? And then, what was the other one? J-Lo, we knew that was done when it started. No shade.
No shade, but she
no tea, no shade.
No tea, no shade.
But we knew that was done when it started. No tea, no shade.
But I admire y'all spinning the block because sometimes you're not sure. You be like, well, let me go play in the dirt again. Look, period. Sometimes it work out. Okay.
Sometimes it's true.
But Jennifer, we know you collecting them rings like the Infinity Stones. It's okay though.
I'm sorry.
But yes, very good. That was the truth. The Jennifer Lopez. She did date Montel Williams and not Jordan.
Did I say Montel?
But you called that out.
Yeah, because I was trying. I always get them. Even back in the day, I used to get that mixed up. I was like Montel Jordan.
Yep.
This is how we do it.
Yep.
Montel Williams.
You are not the father. Yes. Yes. That's how I keep them.
You are not the father.
Okay, round 2. Meg Thee Stallion squashes beef with Carisha after seeing Saucy Santana interview. Mary J. Blige partners with Wingstop for new crispy chicken wing flavor.
Crispy chicken.
Went triple platinum in my house. Glorilla received the key to the city of Memphis, Tennessee. Ooh. Which one's the truth?
I don't really be on top of that sort of stuff, but I'm going to say... I'm going to say Mary J. Blige and the chicken.
Look, Mary J. Blige is, not only is she never going near
I'm about to
chicken
say, Mary
again,
J. Blige ain't messing with no chicken no more.
She was like, I will never, you won't see me eating chicken, promoting chicken. That's definitely a lie. She's like, hell no. The truth is Glorilla received the key to the city of Memphis.
I do know that was the truth.
Period. Okay, round 3. I always say her name wrong. Halle Bailey. Because it's not
Haley.
Because is it Haley? Halle.
It's Halle Bailey. Yeah.
Halle Bailey. Her son got turned into an internet meme after reacting to a kiddie ride.
Yeah.
Anthony Ammirati launched new underwear line designed for maximum athletic support after his Olympics upset. Y'all saw him knock that pole down. Latasha Scott teases new memoir, How I Escaped. Which one is true?
Which one is true?
Yeah, there's
the
2 lies.
The first one is true.
Period. Very good.
Yeah, I knew the first one was true. That's what the baby was like. He had a bad break.
He was so cute. I know he was like, get the camera on my face. Which one got me on? Where am I? Okay. Last round. You're doing very good. Last round. B103 host Danie B, rumored to be starring in new Tyler Perry movie entitled Catastrophe, The Wanda Smith Story. Tyrese cosplayed as Marvin Gaye during the national anthem performance, or Drake released a new mixtape entitled Surviving Kung Fu Kenny. Which one's the truth?
Which one's the truth?
Yeah.
The Tyrese is the truth.
Period. Very good.
I saw that with the Tyrese. That's the truth. I was like, oh my gosh.
You did very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, bravo. Look, and that's how you do it, okay? Bravo. All right. Our last game is called It's Not Atlanta. It's not Atlanta.
It's not Atlanta.
It's not Atlanta.
It's not Atlanta.
It's not. Okay. So I'm going to read some famous Georgia landmarks, and you're going to tell me if it's located in the city of Atlanta or if it's actually really not located in the city of Atlanta.
Okay, so city of Atlanta.
Yes.
Okay.
Either it is Atlanta or it's not Atlanta.
Okay.
Okay. Six Flags.
That ain't Atlanta.
It's not. Sidetrack.
Sidetrack. What the hell sidetrack is? Sidetrack.
You never went to Sidetrack back in the day?
That's some new. That's back in the day. I don't know what sidetrack is. I'm gonna say that's not Atlanta.
It used to be in Atlanta. It was.
What is sidetrack?
It was like a little.
I never heard of
it
that.
was like Firm Bank, but like science, and like we used to go on field trips all the time. It was in the city, and yeah, they would take us and they would do like science experiments.
I've never heard of sidetrack. I went to Firm Bank.
Yeah, Firm Bank.
I ain't never heard of no sidetrack.
Sidetrack.
Where is that? What was that at?
That's a good question, girl. It's been gone a minute, but it was in the city.
I have never heard of sidetrack. Well, you got one on me, child. I ain't never heard of sidetrack in my life.
Coca-Cola.
Because they moved it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's still Atlanta.
It is.
Yeah.
Golden Glide.
Golden Glide on the east side. That's technically not Atlanta. Okay, if we want to talk.
Okay, look, plead your
If we want
case.
to talk
Go
about
ahead.
geometric dimensions and geography, okay,
Yeah.
it's technically not Atlanta. Big shouts out to my girl China Marie because she's gonna eat this up.
Yep.
Technically, that's not Atlanta, but that's still the east side, west side.
Right, honorary.
West side.
Y'all know what it is.
East side, west side.
Okay. I'm from the west side, but we love y'all. I live on the east side now. So it's nice. You didn't have to. Hold on. I just said. I thought we can't be like the Crips and the Bloods and meet in the middle. Dang.
Because people from the west side, they think they're the only people that's from Atlanta.
No.
They act like, well, I went to Mays, or I went to Doug, or I went. Okay.
I mean, we did, but
okay.
we love our east side brethren and sisterin and thetherin and iterin, all the peoples. Okay, Firm Bank.
Oh, is that technically? Because I know that's in Decatur. Is that no? That's Decatur. Is that technically? It's right down that line.
I feel like it sits in the middle. To be honest,
I feel like it's because I feel like piece of it is in Atlanta, and I feel like the other piece is in Decatur, city of Decatur.
Yeah. So she split. That's a split custody arrangement. Some of y'all know what that's like. Stone Mountain.
Stone Mountain. That's it. No, that ain't nowhere. No, that ain't Atlanta.
The Varsity.
The right there off Spring. That's in Atlanta.
Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport.
That Clayco. No, that ain't technically Atlanta.
It's not Atlanta. A lot of people don't know that. They be like, "Oh, I'm near the airport. Ain't
no,
that close to
technically,
you?"
I guess technically, is that East Point? Technically,
I think it is.
Or is
East
it
Point.
Clayton? I know it's Clayton County, but is that College Park technically? I think that's College Park technically. Technically,
it's grown.
Technically,
It's grown so much. It could be all three. She could be touching all three. Okay.
I think it's College Park.
Oh, R.I.P. Walters.
Walters. Oh, that's Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
That's Atlanta.
Lake Lanier.
Avoid it with the plague, like the plague. Don't go there. Live. I want you to live and be prosperous. Don't go up there, Forsyth. That's what that is. Forsyth. That ain't Atlanta. That's Forsyth. Don't go up there.
Unless you own a MAGA hat, please go.
Don't.
Please go for a swim, baby. Go cool off. We would love that. Rays on the river.
Ooh. What? The one on the river, not the one in the city.
Not that one. So I tried to get you.
I did. You tried to trick me.
Look,
but I know.
You did.
Rays on the river. I guess technically that's not Atlanta.
It's not. I want to say that's like.
That's not Atlanta. What is that? Is that Sandy?
What's that near? Like Bolton Road, Cobb County. Count on being busted county. Very good. You did that. I tried to get you with the last one, but she was too smart.
I know it's a raise in the city and it's raised on the river. I know it's both.
Period. Okay. So now we're going to get into the interview segment. It's time to sip and spill. Okay. All right. So first up, I love origin stories. And so I would like to know where you were born and raised. And do you remember the first CD you ever bought?
Where I was born and raised. Well, I'm from Atlanta.
Period.
Well, technically, I guess I was born in East Point, South Fulton Hospital, which is East Point.
Yeah.
After that,
Yeah. Yeah.
we moved to the east side of Atlanta. I grew up in Lithonia. And then my parents, when I got to middle school, they was like, we don't want you to go here. It's like, we don't like what's happening over here. And we moved to Noon County.
Come on,
out
Noon.
in Covington.
Oh my goodness. My brother just bought a house out there. It's a trek.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to pack a lunch to go visit him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's out.
Yeah.
It's down 20.
Yeah.
Down 20.
Yeah.
But
it's beautiful.
It's nice though. It's
It is
developing.
nice.
It's
Yeah.
way better than it was when I moved there. I was like, ain't nothing out here. Like for real, we were the first house on the street, first house on the block. I remember crying my eyes out that we had to go to school over there because I grew up in Lithonia.
Right.
And so for me, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go to school with white people.
Yeah.
And my interaction with white people outside of a couple of teachers that I had was they made sure to teach us. Again, this is Atlanta where Dr. King, that was my experience of white people at that age. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go to school and they're going to throw rocks at me and I'm just going to want to read a book and they're going to take it. My aunt was like, I cried.
Yeah. The full Ruby Bridges treatment.
Yes, that's what I thought.
Yes.
I cried. My aunt was like, what is wrong with you? I was like, they're going to be bad. They're going to be mean to me because I'm black. And I just don't want to. I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, girl, no. Like, stop. So, yeah, that was a whole dramatic thing.
No, that is scary. Because like you, we all grew up learning, going to the King Center.
Yeah.
Learning, reading the book. Baby.
It made you learn, lift every voice and sing, and then made us dissect what it meant.
Okay.
And I was like, and then you gonna tell me you gonna make me go out here with the people that they was throwing the rock? Child, I was terrified.
No, it was scary. I remember the first time when I found out I got into Southern and I had decided to go there. We were driving down. That was the first time I saw cotton fields. Because, we don't grow up seeing them in the city. You don't.
Same. It's like going down there, I was like.
Bruh. Shocking, to say the least. Yeah.
I was like, where's the school?
Yeah, what have I done?
What are we doing?
Very good. And the first CD you ever bought?
The first CD I ever bought, I genuinely can't remember, but I think the first CD I ever bought,
yes,
with my money bought, I think it was Outkast. I think it was the Love the Low speaker box.
Period.
I think.
That's a great first buy.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Look, that tracks. Yeah, we like that.
That
tracks. Yeah, mine was, back in the day you could buy singles. And so mine was, to me, a stranger in the house.
Oh,
with my own money. What the fuck was I going through? What was I going through, y'all? I think I might have been in 7th grade.
What was happening?
And I would be blasting it. My mama would open my door. She'd be like, you want to talk about something? I'm like, I'm fine. I just have a lot of feelings.
Actually, I can't remember what came out first. I feel like it might have been Usher 8701.
Before I think that did come out.
I can't
before.
remember if that came out before.
Yes, yeah, it did.
It might be
we
Usher.
We have some fact checkers back there.
It might be Usher 8701.
Yeah. Another. Let me tell you, baby. I felt so bad for them people when he canceled in August, but baby, I was always going in October. Because I knew. I was like, I'm going to go to the last show in Atlanta, October 20th.
Because then you work out all the kinks. I don't ever want, I think about that all the time. Like, because, we get concert tickets and stuff. When it's the beginning of the tour, I never really want to go because they're working out the kinks stuff. And by the end of it, it's like, okay, we've done this 50 times. We done figured out like what works, what doesn't work. We know that light going to pop out at some point. And you know what I'm saying?
We done fired all the people we need to fire. The people that didn't know what they were doing. Big facts, okay? Because you don't want to be like, Chris Brown stuck in the air, like tragic.
Right.
Get him down. Tragic.
He was mad. They came up with the ladder.
Right. But I was like kind of mad because my show was supposed to be the last show and now he coming back in December. So my show technically won't be the last show because the last show, y'all, is the best one.
Yeah. Because they bring out all the stops, especially in Atlanta because so many people and that's another thing, like a trick. If you like trying to do concerts and stuff, go to cities where people just hang out. So Atlanta's a good city. New York is a good city where people are just around. Miami is a good city to look at a concert because then they bring guests out because people are just there.
They just hanging out.
They live there. They're just hanging out. People are just there. So
hey, Usher. Very good. All right. Atlanta Homecoming. I mean, welcome back, first of all.
Thank you.
Welcome back. I know a lot has changed. We love having you back.
Thank you.
It's been such a pleasure to like see you, like and listen to you on the radio and see you like just really in the zone, in your vibe, in your lane, in
It's
your
like crazy.
purpose. I mean, like I really be watching it like that Danie B. Like that's crazy. That's crazy.
It's crazy, bro.
So like, how does this current chapter of your life, of your career, what does that feel like? If you could sum it up with one word or a sound, like I had a guest on, and they were like, I can't think of a word. They were just like, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, I like that. We'll allow it. So yeah, so this moment right now where you are, like, how does that feel?
Can I give you like a phrase?
Yes.
We made it. Cause can I give you no? All my life I had to fight. Had to fight, bruh.
Period.
Started from the bottom.
Now we here. The fuck? Sorry. My mama watched this. Hey mom, you know I cuss. But yes, no, seriously, like
no, seriously, that's how it feels because it's like anybody that knows me in college knows that I always wanted to do this.
Yes.
Like high school, like everybody knows that I've always wanted to do this. I was the girl that listened to the radio and I would repeat everything that they said on the radio. And my mom would like change the station and I'm like, well, I'm gonna repeat that too. And then when we would get home, she would turn on the news. Monica Kaufman's there. I'm gonna repeat that too.
Immediately.
Like so like I was that person.
Right.
So I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to be in this space. So to be here is like, and I worked very hard to be here.
Okay.
Like I worked very
hard. Let the
hard.
people know.
It's not like a fairy tale.
Hello.
Like you work hard and you made it. No, like a bitch was sleeping in cars and in garages and bumming on people's couches and I ain't got no money. I'm living in places where I really don't want to be and just trying to figure it out. And my first gig in New York, when I moved to upstate New York, I was making $26,000 a year in New York.
Sheesh.
With New York state taxes.
Sheesh.
And it was cold. Have you ever been on a cold toilet seat? Have you ever when you wait? This is things you don't think about. I think about stuff like this, and I'm so thankful that I don't live in New York anymore. I would wake up in the middle of the night, and you have to pee or you have to go to the bathroom or whatever. So the way a lot of those buildings up there are old,
right?
And so the room that I was in a studio apartment, so the room I was in was like a square, and it had the heating, the furnace on the bottom of the thing. So you turn that on and the room stays warm.
Right.
And then there was a hallway and the bathrooms down here. Ain't no heat in there.
No furnace.
There's no...
It couldn't reach it.
And again, you can't like leave that on all night long. That's dangerous. You could start a fire, etc. So it's like, okay, I'm getting up in the middle of the night. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm gonna go lay back down. You go in there, you go to the bathroom and you sit on the toilet. It's freezing cold, like outside cold. I was like... I literally remember I was like Googling warm. I was like, do they make heated toilet seats? I'm like, oh wow, this is a thing.
Yeah.
They make heated toilet seats. They make heated floors.
Yes.
Like these are things I was looking at up there.
Yeah. I remember the first time one of my rich friends, he has heated floors all throughout his home. And I was like, what the fuck is happening here? I was like, I didn't know they could do this. Very nice.
Yeah, stuff
very,
like that.
Nice.
I was like, I didn't even know that stuff existed, nor did I care until living in upstate New York in a December night and it's -21 outside.
Also, whoever was paying you $26,000 a year in New York, that's called criminal. Okay, y'all need to be in fucking jail. I'm sick of it. Okay, come on, y'all. A living wage. That's it. It's not hard. Okay. So I know you mentioned, radio is something you always wanted to do, always wanted to be in. It's an arena you always wanted to play in. If you weren't B103, Danie B, radio host extraordinaire, what would you be doing?
I think I actually do want to do this when I'm done. I think I'd be a teacher.
Any grade, any subject, anything in particular?
High school,
okay,
college.
Yep.
I can't go actually in between gigs because I've been like let go so many times, but in between gigs, I was a substitute teacher to try it out to see if I would like it.
Right. And what grades were you?
High school.
Yep.
I did middle school one day and I was like, nope, I'm
never
not
again.
going back. She was like, you want to come back tomorrow? I said, no, ma'am.
No, never again. Let me
No,
tell you
ma'am.
something.
No, ma'am.
God bless the children. Y'all shouldn't be watching this. God bless the children. Fuck no.
Right.
They're bad as like elementary school, maybe,
no,
but
no,
middle school,
no, because
it's rough.
No, so the way I looked at it when they were asking this, like, because you got to choose like which grade levels you did or whatever, which jobs you wanted to pick up. And so elementary school, I was like, no, because they told us that like if you lose a kid, you know, little kids, they like to just run off.
Wandering.
And then kids with the most terrifying thing in life is kid hands. Because think about it, like it be sticky and it's been in my nose and it's been in their mouth, it's been in my pants. And then hi.
Girl, I just,
you know what I'm saying?
You made it too real. I almost
screamed. You know what I'm saying?
I almost screamed. You made it too
real. I
real.
was like, I cannot do that. And then they want to hug you all day. I was like, I can't do little people and other people's kids where I have the responsibility of making sure.
Right.
It was 16 of y'all.
Everyone accounted for. You know what else I just thought about? Teachers, if the zombie apocalypse does actually happen, they'll probably be fine. Their immune system is probably so, they'll be like, I teach kids. Like, this ain't shit.
Right.
Bubonic plague, this ain't nothing.
Right.
You know, seriously.
I do with middle school attitudes.
Look, shout out to the kid. Look, Danie B, the educator. Okay. So I couldn't have you on without asking this next question. So, you know, we all grew up in Atlanta. We all grew up listening to the radio. We all grew up listening to the one and only Greg Street. And so I just have to, you know, ask, like, what's it like working with a legend? Like, you know, is he cool or, you know, whatever? Like,
every day I see Greg and he comes in and he's like, "Sup, Danie B?" I'm like,
me?
For real?
No, for real.
Like that too. Or like, we have like group text messages, like if some breaking news or something happens or whatever. So they'll have like, Greg will drop something in there and I'll be like,
this is crazy.
I'll be like, it's been a couple of times too. And I'm like, did you mean to send me that? He's like, yeah, I was talking to you. It's what we was talking about the other day. And I'm like,
we were. That was me.
That was me.
I was there. That's crazy.
That was me right there. That's crazy.
No, for real.
But he's mad. I went in, because I've been in the business a while. I've been doing radio for what, like 13 years? Like really since graduation? Yeah, I've been doing radio like 13 years. And so when I went in, I expected, and this may sound bad, but I expected everyone to be assholes. I expected Tigger to be an asshole. I expected Greg to be an asshole. I expected everyone to be an asshole because I've experienced people being assholes. And then I was like, I don't want to be let down if these people aren't like amazing people or if they're just terrible. So I'm just going to go in and just expect everybody to just be like, who's this bitch? But that didn't happen. Like, they were also welcoming. They were like all kind of like eager to just kind of get to know me. And I was just kind of like, like, oh, talk to me? Okay.
That's really dope.
So,
you know, they always say, you know,
cool.
they be like, don't meet your heroes, you know, which for some people, horror stories. I've met some people and been like, oh, I'll never listen to your music again. I'll never watch anything you in again. I swear to God, like, terrible.
And so I was really afraid of that. But no, Greg is amazing. Big Tigger is amazing. I met Ryan Cameron a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, Rashawn Ali, she literally hit me up on social media one day. She was like, hey, just want to reach out and be like, you're doing a great job, and da-da-da-da. And I was like,
what?
I was like, you was listening to me? You actively turned on the radio and said, you know what?
Did this.
Yes. And then went like, ma'am.
Yes.
No. So like all of my radio iconic people, because again, I grew up here in Atlanta, so I know other people may have other folks, but for me, Ryan Cameron, Greg Street, you know, Rashawn Ali, like I literally pattern the way I do radio. If you listen to how I do radio and the things I say and the jokes I make, it's Ryan Cameron. I used to do a bit. I don't know if you, let me see if you really Atlanta. You remember the birthday song? Ryan Cameron Morning Show? I did a birthday song bit in Orlando, Florida, and won with it. Literally created my own birthday song thing that Ryan used to do every day.
They were like, we've never heard of that. What's this?
Yeah, and I'm like, nah. I was like, this is gonna win.
It is.
I'm telling you, this is gonna win, and it did. And I'm like, and I literally got the opportunity to tell him that. I thought he was gonna be like, bitch, you biting my shit. But he was like, that's what you do. You win.
Yeah.
And I was like, he was like,
Facts.
by any means necessary, you
Yeah.
win. And I
Yeah.
was like, glory to you. But I'm gonna act cool.
Right.
Glory.
Because I love y'all for real.
Yeah.
In real life. No facts.
Right.
That's amazing. Okay, so you talked a little bit about, pivoting and having to hustle and grind. A lot of people like to look at people and be like, oh, it's just overnight success. You just made
No.
it, or, because they see you where you are on whatever platform, but they don't know. They don't know. So I'm curious to know, how did you pivot once you parted ways with Jams 96.3?
Oh, I ran from there. Like, no shade. No shade. But everybody, I've been public with this before. Like, I had a whole different expectation when I went to Albany, New York. Jams, I learned so much from Jams. That was like my first radio gig. I got to get my chops. I got like a lot of my first big interviews there. I interviewed Ty Dolla $ign, Fat Joe, Tinashe. I interviewed like people like that there, Tommy Davidson. So it was definitely dope for that. I definitely had my share of challenges. They definitely weren't, the money wasn't there, but I didn't expect it to be because it's the beginning of your career.
Right.
It's a smaller market and I get it. So, yeah, I ran from up there. Like my whole time up there, I was like, let me try to figure out how to get up out of here.
Right.
And while up there, I got a gig in Poughkeepsie, New York. I was like, yeah, we about to go here on the weekends, because the way I looked at it, it was like, if I'm up here in Albany, ain't nobody listening to me up here in Albany. Where at least where I'm trying to go.
Right. The market.
These people aren't, no one's listening to me here. So I got to try to be heard in as many places and as many markets as I can. So while working in Albany, I got a gig in Poughkeepsie, same company. They allowed me to do that. Same company, I got a gig in Vermont. So I started out doing afternoons up there. They promoted me to mornings eventually. I was doing a solo morning show with no producer, no nothing, doing a solo morning show by myself in Albany, going against the Breakfast Club.
A one-woman show.
Yeah, and going against the Breakfast Club. So that happened while I was doing mornings. So I would do mornings Monday through Friday. Then I would do middays in Vermont. And then on Saturdays, I would drive to Poughkeepsie, do a radio show there. And then on Sundays, I would go to Boston. That was 3 hours to Boston I would drive to be on the radio there, because I was like, this is Boston.
Right.
So that's how I got to Orlando, because they heard me in Boston.
See?
And everything's connected. The guy that hired me in Boston, big shouts out to Joe Breezy, I met him here.
Wow.
When I was interning and trying to get my, footing and stuff here in Atlanta, he was like, okay, I see something in you. I just kept sending him air checks every week. I think I would cut them every Tuesday. I would go in and I would sneak in the news studio. And I would be like, okay, let me try to put like a little demo together. And then Wednesdays would come and I would go on the radio sites and I would just send them out.
Right.
Find out who the program director of this radio station is. Find out what their email is. I don't know what their email is. Okay, Joe Daniels at Clear Channel. J.Daniels at Clear Channel.
Right.
One of them gonna work. And I would do that on Wednesdays. And then also everybody in the building that I worked at, because I started here working at Clear Channel, which is now called iHeart, but then it was Clear Channel. I started there, so I would send it to everybody upstairs too, like, okay, you're the program director of this station, you're the assistant program director, let me send you my little air checks. And so because of that, he remembered me when I went to Boston.
Wow.
He was like, oh, I remember, you had some, like, he told me, he was like, you got like some hustle and tenacity to you. And I was like, I'm just trying to get on, bro.
Period.
Like,
by any means necessary.
Right. I'm just trying to figure it out. And so he remembered me in Boston, and then his friend had a station in Orlando, and that's how I got in Orlando.
That's crazy. Which is so important. I hope those of you who are interested in this career and this field, really any arena, you got to be persistent.
Yeah.
You got to get creative. You got to hustle.
Yes.
But,
yes.
But like it takes work. Like whatever you're putting in, those long hours, those sleepless nights, it does pay off.
Yeah.
You can't connect. You can't get up there, but you got to work.
I wasn't sure some days, but
look at God.
We made
what are you doing?
God.
Don't get me started. I'll run around this studio. Okay, hold on. All right. So you mentioned a few people that you had the pleasure of interviewing. And so I'm curious to know, who has been one of your favorite interviews to date? And can you share a moment that impacted you deeply that your career has afforded you? So whether it was like going somewhere, meeting somebody, getting to do this cool thing, interviewing someone, like hero, whatever.
I feel like one of my favorite interviews so far has been Jasmine Guy.
Ooh.
I know that's not like this, like the name that maybe some
What?
people may have been thinking, like maybe like Future or Usher or whatever. Like some people may have been thinking that. But Jasmine Guy, because one, that was my first interview that I did. I was probably like a week in or a couple of days in at B103. She was the first interview that I did. And you know, this is my first interview, so I'm trying to make sure everything's right. So I don't know how things work yet when you do an interview. So I don't know yet that there's a video guy and he comes in and he films everything, but you have to book him in advance. And I don't know this stuff yet. So I'm moving how I've been moving. So I was like, okay, let me get my phone. I got this other phone. Let me put up my tripod and put this tripod out. Let me make sure everything's emptied out of my phone. Let me shape her up. And she's watching me do all this. I was like, okay, I just want to shape you up or whatever, frame you up in the frame and And then I'm going back, I'm on air live at the same time. So again, I don't know that I can be like, hey, can I have a producer in today to kind of help me run it? I don't know that that exists yet. So I'm like, okay, let me go in here and run the board. No, I had a producer. China was there. So I was like, she's like, okay, like I'll run the board. You're good. Da, 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 da. So I'm like, okay, let me frame up these shots and da, 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 da. And okay, let me get my laptop. I got my little questions or whatever. That's this guy watching me doing all this. And then she goes, literally the interview starts and the first thing out of her mouth, she goes, I'm so proud of you. And I was like,
nope.
Literally right then, it just, and again, this is my first week, first interview. I'm trying to, and I was like, what? She was like, I'm just looking at you and you remind me of my daughter. She was like, and I'm seeing how you just know how to do everything. She was like, I come from an era where we didn't have to learn how to do everything. She was like, I didn't have to do social media and this and this and this. I didn't have to learn. I just needed to make sure I had my lines together. I needed to make sure my dance steps were on point. That was it. She was like, you remind me of my daughter. She was like, and it's making me emotional just looking at you. And I was like, you're going to make me emotional. So I think that was like one of the most impactful moments because it was like, you know, you just do the things.
Yes.
I feel like so many of us just do the things. And then you don't really sit back and realize like, hey, you've just been kind of, in essence, going through the motions of doing the things because you're thinking like, okay, I got to get this. I got to get this. I got to get to the next step. I got to get to the next accolade. I got to get to the next thing. And it's like, no, give yourself credit because in doing the things, you're growing as a person. You're acquiring all this knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You're growing in everything that you're doing. So I thought that was cool that she acknowledged that and she made me kind of stop and kind of be like, stop. Like, you don't have to prove anything.
Right. Take it in.
Take it in.
Right.
You're here. You deserve to be here. And I see that. And I was like,
you know, that would have taken me down. First of all, different world. The reason I went to college.
Like, all of us.
You know what I'm saying? Like
all
that's like
Whitney Gilbert, are you serious?
I would have been on the ground. Okay.
Yes,
I'd have like the interview's canceled.
I said, okay, let me move. I think I said something like, okay, let me move on before I start. So you about to make me cry. Let me so you got an Emmy.
That is hilarious. Okay. So that's very, very cool. I would like to know, I know you mentioned briefly, like in past experiences in radio, you've ran into some people who were not that kind, not that great. Maybe were some adversarial, we'll say. So who were some of your champions? What was it like navigating your arena as a Black woman? What are some of the hurdles? What are some of the things you had to work through?
So I feel like this is a complicated question. I feel like this is a complicated question because of my journey in radio. So I look like D, but I don't sound, if you close your eyes, I don't sound, like you can't pick up on if I'm Black, white, or whatever. Like if you close your eyes. And so because of that, in essence, you would think that's something to help you, right? You would think.
Right.
That worked against me a lot of my career. And so starting out, I wanted to be on a hip hop station. I wanted to be on an R&B station because I'm from Atlanta and that's what I grew up on. I grew up on V103. I grew up on Hot 107.9. So these are the stations that I always listen to. So I want to do that. I want to be Ryan Cameron. I want to be Rashawn Ali. And so those are the stations I was going after in the beginning, and the feedback that I would get would be like, the sound is too light. It's too light. And so it was like, I don't know what that means.
Right. What do you mean by light?
So in essence, you sound like a white girl.
Yeah, it's not black enough.
It ain't black enough for us. And so I'm like, all right. So I just applied to everything. Once I started applying to everything, I got my shot. The first door opened for me in pop radio. So then that turns into, well, you the only one here. Because everyone is sounding like Ryan Seacrest, and everyone sounds like this, seriously.
Right, they do.
Like, when I was on, I don't know, I'll just make up a station. Well, yeah, back in the day, I was on Wild 105.7 and 96.7. So then for me being young, I was like, okay, so I'm on this type of a station. I need to be that. Even though I'm Atlanta,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I would literally be, hey, it's Wild 105.7 and 96.7. This is your girl, Danie B, and we're hanging out today. I'm going to have some Taylor Swift tickets for you, so definitely make sure you tune in. Like, I would literally do that. And people are like, you're great, you're great, you're great. It wasn't until I got to Orlando when I had a program director. His name is Dennis Martinez. And I was doing that. It was 1019 Amp Radio, and I would, hey, what's up? It's your girl, Danie B, 1019 Amp Radio. Old Town, what's good? We got the new Future coming up and a little bit of Taylor Swift. We got Camila Cabello on the way as well. Definitely make sure you continue to listen. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing, and he would be like, you don't sound real. And I'm like, what does that mean? I'm like, what does that mean? And so he kept we have air checks where you would come in and the program director pretty much rates you and they critique you. And he kept telling me, you don't sound real. He was like, you sound like you're reading. Like, he would literally stop my air check in the middle of it. Like, he put together 2 minutes of you being on air. We're going to come to the office and talk about it. Okay. Halfway through, you just sound like you're reading. And I'm like, I don't know what he wants me to do.
Right.
And so,
because this is what I've been doing
exactly,
for so long.
And it's gotten me places. Yes. So I legit was not able to kind of pick up on what he was saying. And it wasn't until my old co-els, his name is Kevin Kahn, and then someone else that worked with us, his name was Mitchell. They was like, I was like, I asked them, I think I asked them, or they offered, I don't remember, but somehow we got on the subject of how do you sound? Like, I'm new to Orlando. How am I fitting in? Am I fitting in with the culture? Am I giving the station what it needs? Like, am I doing good? And they both were like, the girl that we see in the hallways and the girl that we talk to, that's not who we hear on the radio. And I was like, well, I can't be like that on the radio because I'm from Atlanta. Like, people aren't gonna understand what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not gonna get it. And they're like, no, do that on the radio. How you talking to us right now? Do that on the radio. I was like,
lean in, be yourself. Right.
So that Monday came around, because this was like a Friday. That Monday came and I hopped on and I was like, I started until the like 101.9 radio, and then I was like, it's 101.9 radio, and what up? This your girl Danie B, and da 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 da, and I'm talking like just regular.
Right.
Again, not to Atlanta, because we in Orlando. They don't know what I'm saying.
Right.
But I've just kind of relaxed the delivery a little bit, and I do my next air check that week. And I'm like,
what are they gonna say?
I'm like, he's gonna be like, get this out of here. He's gonna be like, get this black girl on the radio. We cracked the code. So I go in, and then he literally stops it halfway through. I was like, go get this. Go. And he goes, that's who I've been waiting for. Wow. And I was like, and that's when it clicked for me. He's like, so many times when you do this, when you do radio, he said the biggest hurdle that jocks can't get over is that just talk to me like a regular person. Don't perform for me. Don't put on this voice. Don't put on this persona. Don't give me what you think. Just give me you.
Right.
And he was like, I couldn't really say this before. He's like, I hope you don't report me to HR. I hired a black girl from Atlanta. That's who I want to hear on the radio. And white guy. Facts. And I was like, okay, change my world about how to approach radio, how to do things, all of it.
Especially because before, that was not getting you where you thought you wanted to be.
Right.
It wasn't really opening the doors.
Right. It was like, we don't want to sound, if you're trying to apply for a pop station, you don't want to sound too, because that's what how you're, you don't want to sound too black, you don't want to sound too urban, because if you sound too urban, they're going to put you in the urban category. And then in the urban stations, it's like, you don't want to sound too light, you don't want to sound too mainstream.
Right.
So, yeah.
So you brought up Kevin, and I couldn't have you on without talking about the Danie and Kevin podcast. What did your podcast teach you about partnership? What skill sets do you feel like it helped you hone?
Not just the podcast, like, so the podcast was that was a result of us getting fired in Florida. I've been fired about 2, 3, 4, 5 times, child. Like, I've been through it when it comes to this radio game. But they say that in radio. Like, it's not because of anything I've done or anything like that. I guess I should say I've been let go. But laid off. But yeah, the radio station, they basically were forced to sell it. So we were performing, we were doing well, you know, we were really becoming like the young duo that's like kind of taking over in Orlando. And as we were kind of rising, wings clipped. And so the podcast started because of the show. So to answer that, what the show, I guess, in the podcast kind of showed me was that you could lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Okay.
So, and that's not like and I don't want that to be taken as a knock toward Kevin or a knock toward anybody, but it just kind of taught me to where when you're working with a team, it's a team effort. Facts. So it's like, if your intention is to do X, Y, and Z, and this person is just not feeling it today, that probably ain't gonna happen. Facts. You have to be aligned. Yes. You're only as weak as the other person is. You're only as strong as the other person is. You guys have to. It taught me just a connection. Like, I've had done radio prior to that by myself and shows by myself, but working with a partner, it's a dance to that I don't think people realize. Like, it's so much that goes into that. We lived together for 3 years because of that show. Wow. So that we could get to the point to where we were finishing each other's sentences, and we got there.
Right. So, because people believe that chemistry can't be taught, and in a sense, yes, organic chemistry is great. However, it can't be taught. It can't be like, that's what actors do.
Right. You can't. It can be taught, but like, people can tell. Yes. If that makes sense. People can tell just by the way y'all talk, by the way, you know, you could be in a conversation and bring up something that happened like 2 years ago, or something that happened 2 days ago that didn't happen on the air, and have a genuine laugh about it. And people are like, okay, those are little things you sprinkle in. It's like, okay, they're friends for real.
Yes, they really like each other.
Or they really like each other. Or just the way, the tone at which you talk to each other. People don't again, these are things that I hear, but a lot of people, now I'm saying that you might like listen for this when you listen to like your favorite radio host and stuff. You might listen like, ooh, they got problems today.
They hate each other.
Yeah. You might hear stuff like that now that I'm pointing it out, but like, I can tell because I've now gone through the process of getting that, like, literally down to the bare bones of like a show. Like, okay, so what type of show is this? What are we putting out there? Are y'all brother and sister? Are y'all dating? Do y'all like each other? Do y'all not like each other? Are we putting that? Like, what are we putting out there? And then that's the case. How do we put that out there without saying every time I open the mic, hey, it's Power 95.3 and me and Kevin are best friends. And this is how, you know what I'm saying? How do you put that across to where people believe it?
Right. So it feels like natural.
Organic, it's like all of that stuff was worked on. And again, a major part of it was us living together and all that. So yeah, just learning how to have someone's back and stuff. Because even with that, I was the assistant program director and the music director. So technically, this is my co-host and my partner, but I'm also his boss. Right. So that was a weird dynamic too. But then it's like, you know, my boss is asking me, what's going on with this or what's going on with that? It's like, okay, we're united front. So I got to figure it out. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely learned a lot about partnership, having somebody's back, you know, having to take the fall for somebody if you don't, even if you don't really want to, or showing up as one all the time. So that taught me a lot about that.
Well, I feel like this is a great segue to one of our final questions. So we talk a lot about, you know, what it's like to be in community with people, what it's like to have genuine connections. You're in a sorority.
Yeah. Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
Period. And so I would love to know what your sorority, one, taught you about sisterhood and why it's important, and how do you define sisterhood? Did you define it
Mm.
one way before joining? Did that change?
Okay, so a lot of people thought it was so weird that I even wanted to be in a sorority because I was a tomboy.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very much always the one girl in the group with a whole bunch of dudes, always. And so when I joined Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated in the beginning, not the beginning when I joined, but before going through the process and all of that, and even knowing who my line sisters would be, et cetera, beforehand, I was like, I was always focused on trying to do what I'm doing. So I was like, this is going to be a good networking tour for me.
Facts.
So I was like, I can use this to meet people because all the people that I heard on Rashawn Ali's an AKA, Ryan Cameron's a Newt, Tom Jordan is a Q,
right?
Steve Harvey's a Q. So I'm like, this could help me meet Ricky Smiley's a Q. So I'm like, this could help me meet people because everybody that I see, again, growing up in Atlanta, also going to church right across the street from the AUC and all that. Everybody that I know that was Black, that was in a position of power, or that was in a position that I wanted to be in, they were Greek. Right. So I was like, okay, I gotta, that's what I'm supposed to do. But then once I crossed and went through the process and got my line sisters and stuff, I feel like I actually learned that sisterhood is something that's necessary. It's something that keeps you grounded. Like when I was talking about sleeping on couches and stuff, like big shouts out to my line sister Sean. I slept on her couch many a days. My line sisters have been like some of my biggest supporters. They've sent me money when I had no money, paid for me to go on trips and stuff when I couldn't pay to go on trips with everybody so I wouldn't feel left out. Right. Sent me care packages, checked on me when I was like, I lived in New York for 3 years by myself. I knew nobody up there. Florida, I was there for 7 years. I knew no one there when I moved to Florida. So like, yeah, they have definitely been a huge source of inspiration. They were a huge source of support. Like them girls, they be pushing me, they be rooting for me, child. Like,
holding me down.
My line sisters, they on point. I love my line sisters. I got the best line sisters.
Period. Last question. Okay. Now, without disclosing anyone's identity, okay, we're going to keep it a secret. Can you share an experience you had during your time on radio that was wild or scandalous without using any names?
Wild or scandalous?
No names. Or maybe you had a guest that was like terrible, or an interaction that you were like, oh my God, I survived this. Hell, Lord.
Yeah.
But without using any names.
Yeah, I'm not going to use this person. So I had two. I had one interaction with a very famous, I'm not going to put him out there because people are going to murder me if I do. But there's a very famous singer that I was like, bro, we could fight.
Immediately.
Like, we could go outside. Because I guess he was having a long day. And so he was aggravated. And so I was kind of giving him a rundown, like, sometimes, okay, a little inside track. Sometimes when you get interviews and stuff, you do the interview the day before and it's going to air the next day. And so I was explaining that to him. I'm like, this is not airing right now. This is going to air the next day. So kind of answer the questions as if the thing that's happening that you know has already happened for you. We don't know that it's happened until, until what's going to be last night or tonight. So answer the questions as if the thing has already happened. And he's like, all right. And so then I was like, he didn't say anything after that. So I was like, okay, you ready? And then he goes, well, I'm here. I was like, we could, bro, I just asked you a question to make sure you was good. And you don't, like, why do that?
Now that I'm here, I know I can see you.
Yeah, he was like, well, I'm here.
I didn't come at you with that kind of energy. I'm trying to keep it cool. I'm trying to keep it light.
Then they told the A&R that I was like, in the interview, he asked me about a song. And I was like, well, I think the song is okay. I was honest. I was like, I'll be real with you. When I first listened to it, I did not like it. I thought the song was whack. I didn't like blah, 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 blah. I said, but the more and more I listen to it, I see what you're trying to do with it. Like I get the feel. So I'm rocking with it now. Told my program director, my program director is like, yeah, when we get artists like that, you don't want to like insult them with the songs. I said, so what you want me to, I said, if you don't want me to lie, you don't need me to do the interview then.
Yep.
So yeah, that's one. And then I've had an interview with another person. I'm not going to say his name because he's a very sweet person. But every time I catch him, I've interviewed him multiple times. And every time I catch him, it's always after something crazy has happened. So then that throws the energy of our interview weird.
Right.
And I'm just sitting there like,
you're like, wow.
I'm trying to drive the car, and I'm like, why we keep veering off to the left?
What's happening?
How did we get in the mountains right now? Like,
we supposed to be following the GPS.
Right, what are we doing?
What's
so
happening?
that's happened with this particular person a couple of times, and it's like you finish the interview and you're like,
oh, made it through that. Look, well, we're gonna pray that one time it's all in perfect working order, so that when you interview them, ain't no issues.
Right.
Okay.
Because I'm like, child.
Well, look, thank you for sharing. Last question, final question I ask everybody that comes on the show this. Give me a question to ask the next person I interview.
How you like your eggs?
Hey! Fertilized. Okay? And that's on Big P. Guys, Danie B has to go. She's very busy. Okay, she's very busy. Y'all know she has a lot to do. Where can the people find you? Where can the people hit you up if they want to connect, if they want to listen, if any projects or anything coming up, anything you want to promote?
Big shouts out to Georgia Southern University, I guess. Big shouts out to Georgia Southern University. They just named me 40 under 40, so that's cool. I was like,
big fucking deal.
Me?
Real talk.
Me?
Yes, you.
Me? So that's exciting. That's exciting. I feel really honored to be named that. I've always wanted. So it's weird. I'm in this season where all the things are happening that I've been like, oh, that'll be cool. If that happened to me, that'd be cool. Like, and this stuff is starting to happen, and I'm like, oh wow, that is cool. So there's that. So big shouts out to Georgia Southern University for that. The Alumni Association, appreciate y'all for that. You can hit me up on Danie B Trippin'. That's where I am everywhere because I be tripping and I'm clumsy. It's a double, triple, quadruple entendre. All of that. So Danie B Trippin' on all the socials and all that. And you can listen to me each and every day on V103, Monday through Friday, actually. 10 to 3.
Period. And y'all better check her out because the show good. And she's from here. And we love her. Okay. And she is the baddie on your airwaves. Okay. Voted the baddest. Okay. Get into it. All right. Danie B, thank you so much for being here.
It has been an honor.
We appreciate you. Thank you. Look, you got to come back.
Yes, this was fun, and I feel so honored to be here. Thank you for even thinking. I always say that. Thank you for thinking of me.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you for thinking of me.
Absolutely.
And this is cute. Like, I got a whole little set. Not you with a set. Not you with a little, okay. You better. I want to give you your flowers as well.
You. Look,
I always try to give people flowers that have been kind to me because everybody wasn't, for whatever reason. I'm not gonna say I'm not like some just bullied soul, like no. But especially in this industry, a lot of people are not just genuinely kind. Some people like look at you as competition or threats or whatever. But you have always been so very kind to me, so very supportive of me, and I really, really appreciate it. Like you would hit me up sometimes, like, okay, I see you, girl, like you doing this, and I'm like, this? And you'll be like, no, that's good.
It's amazing.
That's amazing. And I'll be like, really?
Yeah,
so
yes,
thank you so much for always kind of being in my corner and all that. I appreciate it.
It's easy, honey, because you're the bomb.com. And for all of you, you can follow me on Uncle Twirl. That's Twirl with an E on all social media platforms. You can hit me up if you want to email me at teatimewithtwirl@gmail.com. And I love hearing from you guys. Once again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on those post notifications. Hit that bell, y'all. Hit the bell. I'll wait. Thank you very much. And as always, remember, feel free to spill the tea, but don't be messy. Bye, y'all.